যদি নাম কিনবে বাই, আমার সঙ্গে চলো মহাজনের কাছে যাও। আমার সঙ্গে চলো মহাজনের কাছে যাও। তুমি কিনবে কৃষ্ণ নাম, তুমি কিনবে কৃষ্ণ নাম। তুমি কিনবে কৃষ্ণ নাম, তুমি কিনবে কৃষ্ণ নাম। দস্তুরি লইব আমি, পূর্ণ হবে কাম। দস্তুরি লইব আমি, পূর্ণ হবে কাম। বড় দয়াল নিত্যানন্দ, বড় দয়াল নিত্যানন্দ। বড় দয়াল নিত্যানন্দ, বড় দয়াল নিত্যানন্দ। শ্রদ্ধা মাত্র লয়ে দিন পরমানন্দ। শ্রদ্ধা মাত্র লয়ে দিন পরমানন্দ। একবার দেখলে চোখে যার, একবার দেখলে চোখে যার। একবার দেখলে চোখে যার, একবার দেখলে চোখে যার। গৌর বলে নিতাই দেন সকল সম্ভার। গৌর বলে নিতাই দেন সকল সম্ভার। দেন শুদ্ধ কৃষ্ণ শিক্ষা, দেন শুদ্ধ কৃষ্ণ শিক্ষা। দেন শুদ্ধ কৃষ্ণ শিক্ষা, দেন শুদ্ধ কৃষ্ণ শিক্ষা। জাতি ধন্য বিদ্যা বলা ন করে আপেক্ষা। জাতি ধন্য বিদ্যা বলা ন করে আপেক্ষা। আমনি ছড়ে মায়া জাল, আমনি ছড়ে মায়া জাল। আমনি ছড়ে মায়া জাল, আমনি ছড়ে মায়া জাল। গৃহে থাকো বনে থাকো, না থাকে জঞ্জাল। গৃহে থাকো বনে থাকো, না থাকে জঞ্জাল। আর নাই কলির ভয়, আর নাই কলির ভয়। আর নাই কলির ভয়, আর নাই কলির ভয়। Achandale denam nitai doyamoy. Achandale denam nitai doyamoy. Bhakti binodaki koi, bhakti binodaki koi. Bhakti binodaki koi, bhakti binodaki koi. Nitai charan binayar nahi ashray. Nitai charan binayar nahi ashray. Boro suker kobo gai, boro suker kobo gai. Boro suker kobo gai, boro suker kobo gai. Surabhi kunjete namer hat tuleche. Surabhi kunjete namer hat kuleche. Kodanitai, kodanitai. Kodanitai, kodanitai. Doyol nitai, doyol nitai, doyol nitai, doyol nitai. Doyol nitai, doyol nitai, doyol nitai, doyol nitai. Doyol nitai. You want to read the translation? Or I should do it? Thank you. So, this is a song about a broker. You know what a broker is? Yeah. Yeah, connecting people with some kind of business. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur calls this song about the broker. Because Nityananda, he says, I am singing great news, or news of great holy tidings. Lord Nityananda himself has opened a marketplace of the holy name in Surabhi Kunj. This is on one of the islands in Navadvip. He is selling the pure holy name in that marketplace for the price of only one's faith. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says a person is their faith. If you have no faith, you're hopeless. It says, Lord Nityananda, seeing all the devotees becoming attracted, is selling them the holy name after bargaining with them. This is common in India. People like to bargain. No fixed price. So, oh brother, if you want the holy name, then come with me. And we must go to that great soul, Nityananda. you will get the name of Krishna and I will take my commission. And all of our desires will be fulfilled. Lord Nityananda is greatly merciful, because taking only one's faith, he gives the highest ecstasy. If he sees, means Nitai, if Nitai sees only once tears in the eyes of someone while chanting the name Gaura, then he gives everything to that person. He gives the pure teachings of Krishna to everyone, not caring for their birth, wealth, knowledge, or strength. See, this is proof that this has to go all around the world. So now, giving up the illusory snare of Maya, either you remain in household life or in the forest as a sannyasi, no more troubles remain. There is no more fear of the age of Kali, because the merciful Nityananda is giving the holy name to even the chandalas, means the people who eat dogs. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur calls out, except for the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, there is no other shelter. Dayal Nitai. Haribo. So you need the mic.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paskatya Satarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Today we're going to begin Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We're going to begin our Siksastakam seminar. So it'll be today, this morning, tomorrow 10 to 12, and tomorrow evening and Saturday morning 10 to 12, and then again Saturday evening, and then Sunday morning 10 to 12. I'm going to begin, however, with an interesting pastime of Haridas Thakura. One time, Lord Chaitanya asked Haridas Thakur the following question. He said, "My dear Haridas Thakur, or Thakur Haridasa, in the age of Kali, most people are bereft of Vedic culture, and therefore they are called Yavanas. They are concerned only with killing cows and killing the Brahminical culture. In this way, they all engage in sinful activities." And Srila Prabhupada writes, from this statement by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can clearly understand that the word Yavana does not refer only to a particular class of men. And just like yesterday in the class in the evening, I mentioned how Maharaj Yayati had 5 sons. 2 of those sons became expatriates of India, and they were sent to Turkey and Greece. So there are Mlecchas and there are Yavanas. Yavanas are completely against the Vedic culture. They try and destroy it. And Mlecchas are people who have left the Vedic culture and are bereft of it. So, but here we see that the real meaning of the word Yavana is a culture in which they're concerned with killing cows and destroying Brahminical culture. Well, then you can say that America is a Yavana country. They kill cows massively, and not all, but many are against the Brahminical culture. Anyone who is against the behavior of the Vedic principles is called a Yavana. Such a Yavana may be in India or outside of India. So Prabhupada is making it clear there are Yavanas in India also, especially in Kerala. Yeah. Not only Kerala, but they're all over. Where? Yes. Yeah, in the last 30 years, India has reduced its herd of cows from 900 million to 140 million in the last 30 years. A massive number of killing of cows. More than the United States. The United States kills about 80 million a year. 80 plus million a year. Such a Yavana may be in India or outside of India. As described here, the symptom of Yavanas is that they are violent killers of cows and Brahminical culture. We offer our prayers to the Lord by saying, Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitayacha. The Lord is the maintainer of Brahminical culture. His first concern is to see to the benefit of cows and Brahmanas. As soon as human civilization turns against Brahminical culture and allows unrestricted killing of cows, we should understand that men are no longer under the control of the Vedic culture, but are all Yavanas and Mlecchas. It is said that the Krishna consciousness movement will be prominent within the next 10,000 years. But after that, people will all become Mlecchas and Yavanas. Thus, at the end of the Yuga, Krishna will appear as the Kalki Avatara and kill them without consideration. So Lord Chaitanya says to Haridas, he says, how will these Yavanas be delivered? To my great unhappiness, I do not see any way. Is Lord Chaitanya saying, I don't see any way. And Prabhupada says, this verse reveals the significance of Lord Chaitanya's appearance as Patita Pavana, the deliverer of all the fallen souls. Srila Narottam Das Thakur sings, Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatar. O my Lord, you have appeared just to deliver all the fallen souls. Mo sama patita prabhu na paibe ara. And among all the fallen souls, I am the lowest. How Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was always thinking about the deliverance of the fallen souls is shown by the statement, E dukkha apara. It is my great unhappiness. This statement indicates that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself, is always very unhappy to see the fallen souls in the material world. Therefore, he himself comes as he is, or he comes as a devotee in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to deliver love of Krishna directly to the fallen souls. Namo Mahavadanyaya, Krishna Prema Padayate. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful that he not only gives knowledge of Krishna, but by his practical activities teaches everyone how to love Krishna. Krishna Prema Padayate. Those who are following in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should take the Lord's mission most seriously. In this age of Kali, people are gradually becoming less than animals. Nevertheless, although they are eating the flesh of cows and are envious of Brahminical culture, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is considering how to deliver them from this horrible condition of life. Thus he asks all Indians to take up his mission. Bharata bhumite haila manushya janmayar janmasartaka karikara para upakar. One who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India, Bharatvarsha, should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all other people. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 9.4. It is therefore the duty of every advanced and cultured Indian, right? Anyone born in Bharat, anyone born in India, modern India, to take this cause very seriously. All Indians should help the Krishna consciousness movement in its progress to the best of their ability. Then they will be considered real followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Unfortunately, even some so-called Vaishnavas enviously refuse to cooperate with this movement, but instead condemn it in so many ways. We are very sorry to say that these people try to find fault with us, being unnecessarily envious of our activities, although we are trying to the best of our ability to introduce the Krishna consciousness movement directly into the countries of the Yavanas and Mlecchas. Such Yavanas and Mlecchas are coming to us and becoming purified Vaishnavas who follow in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One who identifies himself as a follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should feel like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who said, Iha sabara kon mate haibe nistara. How will all these Yavanas be delivered? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always anxious to deliver the fallen souls because their fallen condition gave him great unhappiness. That is the platform on which one can propagate the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So now we see that if someone says, you know, I'm doing okay, why should I trouble myself? You know, go out to the university district where all these low-class people are, and chant Hare Krishna and distribute prasad. They don't deserve it. They're so low class. But that's not what Lord Chaitanya says. This gives unhappiness to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and to Krishna, because he's not different than Krishna, because he's the father of all living entities. If he sees his sons and daughters suffering out of ignorance, then he must do something. And if we're actually followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna, then we have to have that same vision. We can't be protected by our comfort zone. Because if living entities, even one living entity is suffering, we have to do something. But now we see that most living entities in the material world today are suffering. Tremendous pain. You just read the newspaper or the news every day. You'll see all the suffering and frustration that leads to violence and destruction. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was always anxious to deliver the fallen souls because their fallen condition gave him great unhappiness. That is the platform on which one can propagate the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's the platform. One must have this understanding, like the Lord, in order to engage in the mission of propagating the holy name of the Lord. Otherwise, we'll stay at home in our comfort zone and think, well, everything is TK for me. Who cares about the others? That is a huge, huge mistake. That's proof of a bankrupt heart when a person thinks like that. A bankrupt heart. That means there's no real love for Lord Chaitanya. Haridas kahe Prabhu chintana kariha yavanera samsara deki dukkha na bhaviha. Haridas Thakur replied, my dear Lord, do not be in anxiety. Do not be unhappy to see the condition of the Yavanas in material existence. These words of Haridas Thakur are just befitting a devotee who has dedicated his life and soul to the service of the Lord. When the Lord is unhappy because of the condition of the fallen souls, the devotee consoles him. This word console is a very good word in English. It means, let's say somebody dies in your family. Let's say your father dies, right? So the son and the daughter, they console the mother. They help her to overcome her grief by coming very close and promising they will always be there to help and to fill the gap, if possible, of the loss of their loved one. This consoling is a sign that someone actually loves someone. They will console them. So, when the Lord is unhappy because of the condition of fallen souls, the devotee consoles him, saying, "My dear Lord, do not be in anxiety. This is service. Everyone should adopt the cause of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to try to relieve him from the anxiety he feels. This is actually service to the Lord. One who tries to relieve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's anxiety for the fallen souls is certainly a most dear and confidential devotee of the Lord." Now we can see why Prabhupada is the most confidential and dear devotee of the Lord. He risked his life in his advanced age to come to America with nothing to relieve the anxiety of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He came to the main country of Yavanas and Malechas, that's America. Actually, Americans do kill more cows than Indians do, I'm sorry. They do. And they're progressively now killing Brahminical culture all over the world. The first thing Obama did when he became president, he ordered every American consulate around the world to fund abortion in every country that the United States had a consulate service, to fund it. One of the first things that Trump did, he canceled that order. It was a presidential order. The United States was funding abortions all over the world, not just the United States. Right? So Prabhupada says, one who tries to relieve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's anxiety for the fallen souls is certainly a most dear and confidential devotee of the Lord. To blaspheme such a devotee who's trying his best to spread the cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the greatest offense. One who does so is simply awaiting punishment for his envy. So, some of Prabhupada's God brothers did offend him, did criticize him severely. And other movements, like some followers of Madhavachandra also severely criticized Srila Prabhupada. And of course, there are the deprogrammers. They criticize Prabhupada, and so forth. So then, Haridas says, because the Yavanas are accustomed to saying Harama, Harama, O Lord Ramachandra, they will very easily be delivered by this Namabhasa. So, if you speak Urdu or Farsi or Arabic, and you're a Muslim, they always use the word haram. Okay. Now listen to what Haridas Thakur is going to say. He says, a devotee in advanced ecstatic love exclaims, "Oh my Lord Ramachandra, oh my Lord Ramachandra." But the Yavanas also chant, Harama, Harama. Just see their great fortune. See? So he's calling the Muslims, all the Muslims, Yavanas. But they have a great fortune because they regularly use the word haram. You know, they say, this is haram, that's haram, and this is halal. So they're always saying haram, haram, halal, halal, right? If a child touches fire, the fire will burn him. And if an elderly man touches fire, it will burn him also. Haridas Thakur says that a great devotee of the Lord exclaims, Harama, Harama. But although Yavanas do not know the transcendental meaning of Harama, Harama, they say these words in the course of their ordinary life. For the Yavanas, the words Harama mean abominable, whereas the devotee exclaims the words Harama in ecstatic love. Nevertheless, it is the same, whether they are uttered by Yavanas or by great devotees. Just as fire is the same both for a child and for an elderly man. In other words, the holy name of the Lord, Harama, always acts even when the holy name is chanted without reference to the Supreme Lord. Yavanas utter the holy name in a different attitude than devotees, but the holy name, Harama, is so powerful spiritually that it acts anywhere, whether one knows it or not. This is explained as follows. Now, you have to be careful with this, what's being said here, because if a person recites the name of the Lord, even accidentally, without actual feeling for the Lord, generally they get the good result, but it's held back until they repent. And then they get an avalanche of good mercy. Right? But there are exceptions to that, like in the case of Ajamil. He immediately got the result of saying Narayana. Namacharya Haridas Thakur, the authority on the chanting of the holy name, said, the chanting of the Lord's holy name to indicate something other than the Lord is an instance of namabhasa. Even when the holy name is chanted in this way, its transcendental power is not destroyed. Even a malecha, this is the next verse, even a malecha who is being killed by the tusk of a boar and who cries in distress again and again, Harama, Harama, attains liberation. What then to speak of those who chant the holy name with veneration and faith? So one time I was sitting with Srila Prabhupada and I explained to him that I was going to open a store in Paris and call it Krishna Shop. And he said, no, don't say Krishna Shop. So I was a little surprised when he said that. He said, you must say Hare Krishna Shop. He said, let them say Hare Krishna once in their life. They will be benefited. Then he told me this story. He said there was once a man in a village, and he was an Urdu-speaking man, and he was going down the path, and a wild boar charged at him. And he said, Haram, Haram, Haram. And then the boar ran into him and killed him. Prabhupada said that man attained liberation because he said the name of Ram at the end of his life. So he said, let them say Hare Krishna once. But now we're going to hear something you probably have never heard before. And it's very, very interesting. Next, Haridas Thakur says, even a malecha who's being killed by the tusk of a boar and who cries in distress again and again, Harama, Harama, attains liberation. What then to speak of those who chant the holy name with veneration and faith? This refers to an instance in which a meat eater, being killed by a boar, uttered the words Harama, Harama again and again at the time of his death. Since this is a quotation from the Nrsimha Purana, I'm sorry, this is from the Nrsimha Purana, right? It's not just a story. This indicates that in the Puranic age there must also have been malechas and yavanas, meat eaters, and the words harama, meaning condemned, were also uttered in those days. Thus, Haridas Thakur gives evidence that even a meat eater who condemns something by uttering the words harama gets the benefit of chanting the holy name that the devotee chants to mean, oh my Lord Rama. You see? So sometimes we go out on Sankirtan and we're chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, and some people say, oh, they're the Krishnas, these guys are nonsense. So he said the word Krishna. That's why we go. That's called Namabhasa. That's called Agyata Sukriti. They're making spiritual advancement without knowing it. That's why it's so important to go. We're spreading goodwill to people, even though they don't know it. All they have to do is say, oh, look at this Hare Krishna. Oh, these guys are crazy. The person is getting Sukriti without knowing it because he said Hare Krishna. Therefore, when you ask people, please repeat this mantra, Hare Krishna, and they repeat it, you can tell that they have been pious in their previous life. And if they refuse, no, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say the word Krishna. Oh, he said it. See. So even though he refuses to repeat the mantra, he said it accidentally, trying to push us away. So, yes. Where's the microphone? Microphone should be ready before the class. We shouldn't have to remind microphone.
Haribol. So, one lady at the library,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I wanted to give her a cookie. She looked depressed and homeless, and she sits outside of the library door in Redmond. So I decided to go give her a cookie, and I offered, here's a wonderful cookie. And she looked at me because I was dressed in a sari. She said, are you a Hare Krishna?
Whoa.
She never talks to anybody. I see her a lot of times. And then I said, yes, here's a vegetarian and karma-free cookie. No, thank you. But she said Hare Krishna.
Yep. And she never talks, right? No, but she took something better. Said Hare Krishna once. And she didn't say it, I don't think she said it derisively. She just asked you a question, right? Yeah. Because the Yavanas are accustomed to saying Harama, Harama, O Lord Ramachandra, they will very easily be delivered by the Namabhasa. So now you see the Muslims are actually fortunate. The Pakistanis, the Pakis, they're actually fortunate, right? A devotee in advanced ecstatic love exclaims, "Oh my Lord Ramachandra, oh my Lord Ramachandra." But the Yavanas also chant, Harama, Harama. Just see their good fortune. If a child touches, okay, we read that. The holy name Harama is so powerful spiritually that it acts anywhere, whether one knows it or not. This is explained as follows. Okay, so Namiko. Ajamila was a great sinner during his life, but at the time of death, he accidentally called for his youngest son, whose name was Narayana, and the attendants of Lord Vishnu came to relieve him from the bonds of Yamaraja, the superintendent of death. The word Rama consists of two syllables, Ra and Ma. These are unseparated and are decorated with the loving word Ha, meaning O. So now you know when you say Ha Ha, what is that, the last line of the Shri Guru Pranama, Shri Guru Ha Ha Prabhu Nityananda, right? So whenever you say Ha in Sanskrit, it's not just like a sound like Ha. It means, oh, my dear Lord, right? The letters of the holy name have so much spiritual potency that they act even when uttered improperly. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur states that the words vyavahita, improperly uttered, is not used here to refer to the mundane vibration of the letters of the alphabet. Such negligent utterance for the sense gratification of materialistic persons is not a vibration of transcendental sound. Utterance of the holy name while one engages in sense gratification is an impediment on the path towards achieving ecstatic love for Krishna. On the other hand, if one who is eager for devotional service utters the holy name even partially or improperly, the holy name, which is identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, exhibits its spiritual potency because of that person's offenseless utterance. Thus, one is relieved from all unwanted practices, and one gradually awakens his dormant love for Krishna. Okay, now this requires explanation. Well, let's say, I'm not going to explain it better than what Prabhupada just said, but we should go over this to understand what's being said. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur states that the words vyavahita, improperly uttered, is not used here to refer to the mundane vibration of the letters of the alphabet. So, what does vyavahita mean then? It's not that, you mispronounce a word. Like many times, people mispronounce words. Like instead of saying minute, they say minute. But they don't mean minute, something small. They say, can you just wait 1 minute? Well, that's a mispronunciation of the word, because in the context it means a minute, a period of time, and not something small, right? So it's easy in English to mispronounce words. People always mispronounce them, and the reason for that is that many words in English are borrowed from other languages, and they keep the spelling of that language. So that confuses people, because, like, let's say you take a word from French and you want to pronounce it in English. So the emphasis on the syllable in French is on the second syllable of the word, and the emphasis on the syllable in English is on the first syllable of the word. So you'll mispronounce it right away. And this is the problem with words that are borrowed from other languages and keeping the spelling of that language. And there are other reasons why people easily mispronounce English words, because there are so many foreign words in English, and sometimes, like for example, you have the word Jehovah. Jehovah is a mispronunciation of the word Yahweh, which is in Hebrew. It refers to God, but they mispronounced it, and it becomes Jehovah. There's no Jehovah in the Hebrew language, right? So there are a lot of words like that. So he's not referring to mispronunciation here. What is he referring to? Such negligent utterance for the sense gratification of materialistic persons is not a vibration of transcendental sound. So when persons are engaged in sense gratification and they repeat the name of Krishna or Rama, then that is not a transcendental sound. Like, for example, in England, back when I was a young brahmachari, there was a play taking place, and it was a rather popular one. And in the play, the actors chanted the Hare Krishna mantra, right? And Prabhupada was asked about it, and he said they're also chanting Hare Krishna, but it was part of the play, and they were in a sense making fun of it, and that was not a pure vibration. So that is milk touched by the lips of a serpent. When you hear a materialistic person engaged in sense gratification repeat the name of the Lord, it is like milk touched by the lips of a serpent. It's poisonous, the way that person is chanting. Okay. Whereas, in the case of Ajamil, he was a sinner. So how come the holy name acted right away and purified him of all his sins? And he had committed a whole lifetime of sins. And this confused the Yamadutas. They said, what can you, why are you saying this is your man to the Vishnu Dutas? They said, this guy, look at all he's done. He's our man, you know, he deserves going to hell. And they said, no, he chanted the holy name once at the moment of death. They said, but he didn't mean Narayana. He meant his son, Narayana. And they said, it doesn't matter. Because he chanted without any material desire, he just said it, Narayana. Even though he was calling his son, he repeated the name without a material desire. So now we see the problem. Like, for example, people chant, you know, Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Well, Jaya Jagadisha, you know, Jagadisha is referring to the Lord of the universe, Lord Jagannath, right? But actually, when they're doing that, they're doing the arti and saying Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare, they're thinking, by doing this arti, God is going to favor me with more sons, my business will do better, my backache will go away, and people I don't like, they'll have abortions and they'll have accidents and die. And they're thinking like that in their mind of all the material benefits they're going to get by chanting this arti. Right? So therefore, what does he say here? Such negligent utterance of the sense gratification of materialistic persons is not a vibration of transcendental sound. Utterance of the holy name while one engages in sense gratification is an impediment. It's an offense to be inattentive while chanting. It's an offense to maintain material desires even after hearing so much about the glorification of the holy name. These are offenses against, you know, there are 10 offenses. So when one commits an offense, so in this sense, Ajamil did not commit an offense. He simply said the holy name without any you know, let's say back brain thought in his mind. And therefore, because he uttered it without any material desire, it acted completely. And now we can see how important it is to chant the holy name purely with veneration and faith. Just imagine if a person like the person in Vedic times and in the Shringa Purana says Haram, and he goes and he gets liberation, right? Because he said it with, you know, without any material desire in his mind. He just said Haram, you know. So, and then also now we're going to hear even more details that are more amazing, right? On the other hand, if one who is eager for devotional service utters the holy name even partially or improperly, the holy name, which is identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, exhibits its spiritual potency because of that person's offenseless utterance. Thus, one is relieved from all unwanted practices and one gradually awakens his dormant love for Krishna. Next verse. If a devotee once utters the holy name of the Lord, or if it penetrates his mind or enters his ear, which is the channel of oral reception. Now, this word oral is confusing because how is it spelled in this context? How is the word oral spelled in this context? Yamuna. How is it spelled? There's two ways of spelling the word oral. Huh? Yeah. All right, so what is it, which way should it be spelled here? Let me read it. He says, if it penetrates his mind or enters his ear, which is the channel of oral reception, that holy name will certainly deliver him from material bondage. How is it spelled here? Huh? A-U-R-A-L. See how English is confusing? You can say oral, O-R-A-L, or oral, A-U-R-A-L. It's very easy to make mistakes in English because it's a mixed language. It's not a pure like Sanskrit is a pure language, right? English is not a pure language. It's mixed with many other languages, many borrows many words, and it's not a phonetic. It does not have phonetic spelling. Like Sanskrit has phonetic spelling, that is, every letter is pronounced. What you see is what you speak, right? Well, what you see is what you pronounce, right? But in English, you have words like through, thorough, thou, where the OU is pronounced differently in each one of those words. So it's not phonetic. You have to learn to pronounce those words. You cannot pronounce it just by looking at the letters. There are many words like that in English. Okay, so if a devotee once utters the holy name of the Lord, or if it penetrates his mind or enters his ear, which is the channel of oral reception, that holy name will certainly deliver him from material bondage, whether vibrated properly or improperly, with correct or incorrect grammar, or properly joined or vibrated in separate parts. Haribol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Govindam Vipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Purusham Bhajami. Jasomati Nandana Brajabara Nagara Jasomati Nandana Brajabara Nagara Jasomati Nandana Brajabara Nagara Jasomati Nandana Brajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Gokula Ranjana Kana Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliya Damona Bidhana Damona Bidhana Kaliya Damona Bidhana Kaliya Damona Bidhana Amala Harinam Amiya Bilasa Amala Harinam Amiya Bilasa Amala Harinam Amiya Bilasa Amala Harinam Amiya Bilasa Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Bara Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Bara Bamsi Badana Subasa Vamshivadana Subhasa Brajajana Palana Surakulanasana Govinda Madhava Nabanita Taskara Sundarananda Gopala Sundarananda Gopala Jamuna Tatachara Gopi Basanahara Jamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasa Rasika Kripa Moya Rasa Rasika Kripa Moya Sri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara Sri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara Bhakti Vinodashraya Bhakti Vinodashraya Ajasomati Nandana Vrajabaranagara Jasomati Nandana Vrajabaranagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Gokula Ranjana Kana Amala Harinam Amiya Bilasa Govinda Madhava Nabanita Taskara Sri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Sri Radhe Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Sri Radhe. Radhe Shyam. Jai Nitya Lila Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajagacharya Sutara Sadasi Simanis Divine Grace Abhoicharanarabinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki ISKCON Founder-Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Nitya Lila Pravishnavam Vishnupad Paramhamsa Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Prem se Gosi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Sisi Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki Vrindavan Dham ki Mayapur Navadip Dham ki Jagannath Puri Dham ki Ganga Devi Jamuna Mai ki Bhakti Devi Tulsi Maharani ki Nama Sankirtan ki Harinam Mahamantra ki Brihat Mridanga Seva ki Parama Karuna Sri Gaura Nitananda ki Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki Sri Radha Nila Madhava ki Sri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ji ki, Sri Nrsingadev Bhagwan ki, Samaveda Bhakta Brinda ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Glories to Srila Prabhupada.
So we're going to see we'll have to close the lights. We have to close the lights. And we're going to see a PowerPoint presentation about Harinam Sankirtan. Okay, while he's setting it up, I'll just finish reading this. O Brahmana, the potency of the holy name is therefore certainly great. However, if one uses the vibration of the holy name for the benefit of the material body, for material wealth and followers, or under the influence of greed or atheism, in other words, if one utters the name with offenses, such chanting will not produce the desired result very soon. Therefore, one should diligently avoid offenses and chanting the holy name of the Lord. So, Ajamil did chant the holy name, Narayana, without any ulterior motive. He was just calling out the name of his son, but he wasn't asking for anything or thinking about anything. Therefore, the holy name acted immediately on him. But when we have something in the back of our mind, some personal agenda, like for example, before Narada Muni became Narada Muni, he was a Gandharva. And he was a very good singer, really an excellent singer. And he would always be invited to all the kirtan melas in the heavenly planets, organized by the demigods. So, and he would always be surrounded, well, I don't know always, but in this one particular time, he was surrounded by many very beautiful Apsari women, demigod women. And when he chanted, the women made a big circle around him, and they were jumping up and down in ecstasy. And the great sages that saw this were very displeased. So they cursed Narada Muni to take birth in a very low family. And their curse was actually a blessing, but you can see that that was considered very inappropriate, what he did. In the assembly of such exalted personalities, to be chanting like a movie star, and using different tunes and things like that to attract all these beautiful women that were dancing around him. So we see that chanting the holy name means one should have no material motive. One should have only love and devotion for the Lord, or pure intentions. And one may not be absolutely pure, but the intention should be to please Krishna, because Krishna has ears. We're chanting to please the Lord. We're not chanting to please the public. We're not chanting for our own whatever benefit. We're simply chanting for the pleasure of the Lord and dancing. So this verse from the Padma Purana is included in the Hari Bhakti Vilasa by Sanatana Goswami. Therein, Srila Sanatana Goswami gives the following explanation. Do you have the PowerPoint ready? Yeah. This means that if one somehow or other hears, utters, or remembers the holy name, or if it catches his mind while coming near his ears, that holy name, even if vibrated in separate words, will act. An example of such separation is given as follows. Suppose one utters the two words halam riktam. Now the syllable ha in the word halam and the syllable ri in riktam are separately pronounced, but nevertheless the holy name will act because one somehow or other utters the word Hari. So, broken. Yeah, it's broken. But they still said Hari in those two words. Right? Even though they're two different words, Haram, Riktam, which is part of the verse that Sanatana Goswami uses to explain this verse in the Padma Puranam. He says, Vachi Gatam Prasangat Van Madhye Pavitram Api Smarana Pata Gatam Katanchin Mana Spristam Api, and so forth. He says Yadva Yadyapi Haram Riktam Iti Adi Ukto Hakara Rika Rayor Britya. So he says, suppose one is using the two words haram riktam. Now the syllable ha in the word halam and the syllable ri in riktam are separately pronounced, but nevertheless the holy name will act because one somehow or other utters the word Hari. Similarly, in the word Raja Mahishi, the words Ra and Ma appear in two separate words, but because they somehow or other appear together, the holy name Rama will act, provided there are no offenses. So if one does not commit any of the 10 offenses, any one or all of the 10 offenses while chanting, even separate words that contain two syllables of the name of Krishna, right? It's Krishna or Hari or Hara, whatever. They get the benefit of chanting the holy name, and they become purified, if there's no offense involved. Right? The holy name has so much spiritual potency that it can deliver one from all sinful reactions and material entanglements. But utterance of the holy name will not be very soon fruitful if done to facilitate sinning. So, what happens if you're sinful and you have many material desires and you have a material motive for chanting Hare Krishna? The holy name is absolute, but you will not get the benefit of it. It's held back until you repent or purify that impurity. Where in the case of Ajamil, or in the case of the man in the Shinga Purana, they got the benefit right away because they had no other motive other than to recite, say the name, even though they didn't know they were saying the name of God. You see. Namacharya Haridas Thakur continued. The holy name is so powerful that it must act, but when one utters the holy name with offenses, its action will be delayed, not immediate. Although in favorable circumstances, the holy name of the Lord, the holy names of the Lord act very quickly. Namacharya Haridas Thakur continued, if one offenselessly utters the holy name, even imperfectly, one can be freed from all the results of sinful life. So now we see the importance of chanting reverently, without any material desire, and in a utter state of humility. Not thinking, oh, I'm going to be glorified for chanting, 64 rounds in a secluded place like Radha Kund. There are devotees that, I knew a whole bunch of devotees from France that went to live in Radha Kund because they wanted to be in the holiest place in the world, which is Radha Kund, the holiest place in the universe. Right? But there, they were chanting 64 rounds a day and also smoking marijuana. I'm not kidding you. And they became more contaminated by doing that than by staying in France and going out on Harinam. So we have to be very careful what our motive is for chanting the holy name. Okay, we'll stop there and continue tomorrow at 10 o'clock, 10 to 12. So now we're going to see a PowerPoint presentation of about Harinam, about Sankirtan. So there's no narration, right? It's okay. We got to fix this other. This camera's got to be fixed. You know. No, I know, but they can't see so clearly.
Yeah, when we're here, I can be covered.
You can't see it. Okay, so we can't show it now. It has to be shown at night when there's no light. Okay. All right, then we'll. Maybe we can show it tonight. You can narrate it. It's a very, very good presentation about the importance of, and actually the importance of Harinam, but our strategy in Seattle for going out on Harinam. This explains it in depth. You know, and what we're trying to achieve by going out every Saturday with at least 50 to 100 people, and with the food cart. Or food truck. We can show it at 7:30, right after Arti. I'll be downstairs, you know, but you can narrate it. It says strategy from November 2019. Why does it say 19? That's a mistake. It should be 2018. Basically, it's going out and doing Harinam with the full panoply, the full spectrum of our astras, our weapons. So it's chanting, but being nicely dressed, and chanting nicely and being led, and in an organized way. When you have a large number of people going down University Avenue, it has to be organized. People have to be dancing in unison. It cannot be just a motley troop of people. It's got to be organized. And we should actually practice how to take a large group of people down the sidewalk there is actually pretty tight, narrow, yeah. If you go on the Alaskan Way, or if you go downtown Seattle, they have really large sidewalks. So you can fit, like when we go on Gaur Purnima with 250, 300 people, we all fit on the sidewalk, right? But University Way is much narrower sidewalk. So we have to practice how to take such a big group down the avenue. It cannot look disorganized and somebody's got, you know, pants on, another person has got this thing on and that thing on. It looks like it doesn't look right. Everyone has to be dressed nicely and look like Vaishnavas with tilak and so forth, and have to be dancing in unison and chanting nicely. Then it has a maximum effect on the people. And also, the prasadam distribution is very important. The cookies on the Sankirtan, the flowers, the incense, and books. And last time we only had 2 people distributing books. We need more book distributors. Because when you have such a big group, distributing books is rather easy. And then, of course, bringing people back to the prasadam truck. So that's basically the strategy. You know, having a massive Sankirtan party and big-time book distribution and big-time prasadam distribution. Okay, so we'll just finish this real quick, and then everyone can do what they have to do.
So, Prabhu, how long is the presentation? Can we have it now also?
You can't see it properly now. Huh? Who's okay?
We can see, Prabhu. We can move around. Maybe.
Prabhu said he couldn't see it.
What he was showing before, there was like 4 pictures. It's blurred.
I will do it tonight. No problem. We'll do it tonight. Okay, yeah.
Yes, yeah, we can see because we can move this side. That's what.
Can you see it clearly? Can you read what's up there?
Yes, Prabhuji. Sankirtan strategy from.
All right. Well, then maybe we can move over there.
Yeah, and we can repeat it in the evening. That's what I was just saying, if it's possible.
Okay. Let's give it a try. You want to move over? Take his chair over there. Okay, so here we see Nagar Sankirtan along University Way. 3 p.m. Saturdays, led by His Grace Agni Dev Prabhu. And there's a picture of Agni Dev, not on University Way, but leading Sankirtan. Do you know where that was, Agni Dev Prabhu? Do you know where that scene is from? No. Okay. Ah. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we have Harinam Sankirtan, we have book distribution, we have the food truck, and we have Thursday night classes also at the University Center. Next frame. What? Next. Okay, so here's the food truck and a line of people waiting. So with a big Harinam, more people will come to take prasadam. Next. Srila Prabhupada's statements, Uvacha. Animalistic envy exists in human society as long as there is no performance of Sankirtan Yagya. Purport in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 30, verse 35. Through the popularizing of Hari Kirtana, or the Sankirtan movement, the Brahminical culture and Kshatriya government will automatically come back, and people will be extremely happy. Purport in Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th Canto, 2nd Chapter, 11th verse. That is my ideal of life, to form a nice group of devotees to perform Sankirtan and to distribute our books in wider circles. Letter to Guru Das, Los Angeles, 5th February 1969. So now we see Prabhupada's desire and his vision. Continuing, Prabhupada Uvacha statements. The Sankirtan movement we have started offers the best process for becoming purified of all sinful reactions and coming immediately to the platform of spiritual life. Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th Canto, 2nd Chapter, 11th verse. In this age, chanting of Hare Krishna mantra is the prime business of the devotee, and preaching of this Hare Krishna mantra by outdoor Sankirtana and propagation of literature is our most important business. Side by side, deity worship is recommended, but when there is a question of accepting one of them, we shall prefer to accept chanting of Hare Krishna mantra first. This says, letter to Hansa Duda, Hamburg, 5th September 1969. In Jagannath Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's only occupation was holding Sankirtana at least 4 hours every day and distributing prasadam to the devotees. Huh? Yes. We are not much concerned about the temple because temple worship is not primary factor in this age. Primary factor is Sankirtana. But sometimes we want a center where people may gather and see. So a temple is required secondarily. Letter to Mukunda, New Vrindavan, 27th May, 1969. Next. Next. Next, Srila Prabhupada continuing. My advice to you, under the circumstances, is that at least for 1 hour you must all go to have Sankirtan outside on the streets or in the park. That is your life and soul, first business. The next business is completing the chanting of 16 rounds every day. The next business is your editing, and if you find extra time, then you can attend the temple ceremonies. Otherwise, you stop these activities, but outdoor kirtana must be done, even at the cost of suspending all editorial work. That is your first and foremost business. This was Prabhupada's order to everyone in the BBT. Temple worship is not so important. If need be, the whole temple can be locked, but the outdoor kirtana cannot be stopped. From Srila Prabhupada, go back, from Srila Prabhupada, letter to Ray Rama, Columbus, Ohio, May 17th, 1969. Next. See, this is how the movement spread dynamically in the first few years. You know, starting in 1968 when the Sankirtan began to really develop. It started in 1966 in Tonkin Square, but then in 1968 it began to develop because the devotees were obliged by Prabhupada to go out every day and do Sankirtan. Srila Prabhupada, yes, we shall base our preaching work on Lord Chaitanya's formula, Sankirtana. After all, he is God, and if he recommends, what is the question of failure? That is not possible. If we simply stick to this program, as I have done it since the beginning, namely, Kirtana, preaching, Kirtana, distribution of prasadam. If you do like this only, that will be sufficient. Of course, you may make the Kirtana as nice as possible with dancing, many coals, many kartalas, conchas, and if you preach sincerely, anyone will listen and become convinced. The potency of Krishna consciousness movement does not come from some outward showing. No, it is the transcendental sound vibration of Hare Krishna mantra and the words of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, like that. So now, go on and develop the things in this spirit. That will be nice. Srila Prabhupada, letter to Sudama, 25th November, 1972. Next. Continuing Srila Prabhupada's statements. Somebody once said, Sachin is our God and cricket is our religion. So Sachin is a cricket player, right? He's a big, famous cricket player in India. And cricket is our religion. Sachin is our God and cricket is our religion. Immediately one of the ISKCON gurus corrected him. Sachinandana, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is our God, and Sankirtana is our religion. Haribo, Haribo. Srila Prabhupada letter to Brahmananda, 16th of July, 1969. This Sankirtan party and our book department are very, very important. They are our right and left hands. So everything should be done very carefully and in remembrance that this is Krishna's business that we are executing. Because we are doing Krishna's business does not mean that we should be less careful, but it means we should be much more careful than someone who is performing activities simply for sense gratification. Srila Prabhupada letter to Tamal Krishna Goswami, 23rd October, 1974. So we have to be careful not to adulterate the Sankirtan by selling things. This was happening, it started happening in the late in the 70s. People started selling records, getting the money and giving books out for free, or just translating the amount of money they received into book points. So in other words, they separated actually distributing the books in a very gentle, comprehensive way to people, to a money-based book distribution, where the money you get for the record counts as a book point, and then the BBT can give the books away if they want. It doesn't matter. So then the devotees on Sankirtan were actually were record sellers. They were selling records, they were selling flowers, they were selling incense. And it adulterated the purity of the Sankirtan. We should distribute the books on the basis of the book itself, not on the basis of selling incense or selling flowers or selling records. Please accept my humble obeisances. There have been 2 letters from GBC Men to Srila Prabhupada regarding street chanting and book distribution, and there seems to be some discussion about the two. Srila Prabhupada has said that book distribution is more important than street chanting. Book distribution is Brihad Kirtana. It is literally Kirtana in the sense that the books are spoken, and therefore anyone who reads a book is hearing. Because his books are recorded and transcribed, Srila Prabhupada calls his books spoken kirtanas, or recorded chanting. So book distribution is also kirtana and should not be considered less than kirtana. The reason book distribution is greater than chanting is because the effect is wider. A purchased book goes into a person's home and will be read by others, whereas street kirtana only benefits those in the vicinity. So we do both. We do street kirtana to support the book distribution. And I'm sure Puja Mataji can confirm that. Is that right? If you go out there on your own, can you sell as many books? Can you distribute as many books as when there's a large kirtan party?
No. If there's large kirtan party, immediately the book distribution becomes very, very easy. Anyone we speak, anyone wants to know what is going on there.
Yes, that's the whole point. Now, what happened in 75, 76, and then after Prabhupada's disappearance was there was a shift from distributing a book in and of itself to distributing paraphernalia and using the money to count as book points. And it ruined, basically, the purity of the Sankirtan. Is this right, Agni?
Yes, you were selling everything and anything. and you were calling it Sankirtan.
Sometimes people approach me, they say that we want a free book. So I say everything else is free. Only thing we take 20 parts of the book. At whatever donation you want to give.
No, you give them an on-chanting,
Yeah, and that we give them one.
right, and some prasadam, right? Next. Next. Next slide. We're continuing. Prabhupada says, regarding Sankirtana and book distribution, both should go on, but books distribution is more important. It is Brihad Kirtana. In Tokyo airport, one boy had come up to me asking if he could speak with me. I said yes. And then he asked me, Swamiji, where do you get all that knowledge in your books? Of course, it is Krishna's knowledge, not mine. But the effect is there. So for Kirtana, book distribution is better. Book distribution is also Kirtana. Srila Prabhupada letter to Tamal Krishna Goswami, 23rd October 1974. Srila Prabhupada letter to Tamal Krishna Goswami, 23rd October 1974. Regarding Sankirtana and book distribution, both should go on, but book distribution is more important. It is Brihad Kirtana. So Bhakta Daniel gave his testimony. He said that his father had purchased a book when he was still very young. And when he got a little older, the book was in his father's library. He picked it up and read it. And he became interested in Krishna consciousness. And then he started coming to the temple. Yeah.
But even now, when I see him, sometimes he's sitting in the library and wants to read Prabhupada's books.
Yes. Yeah.
Very few people have devotees I've seen sitting in the library.
Wow, that's because they have Srimad Bhagavatam at home. Yeah. Next slide. December Book Marathon 2018. Why, I don't know why you put 19. Wants everyone to sleep in the rest of the year. You have to change 2019 to 2018, Prabhu. Anand. It says 2019. Okay. Goal, spread the knowledge of happiness. Our goal is to make people happy. Well, you can't make somebody happy if you're not happy. So if you go out there with a sour puss, as they say in English, you're not going to make anybody happy. You have to actually be happy yourself. So if you chant your rounds, if you hear something inspiring every day from Prabhupada's books, if you associate favorably with devotees, if you take nice prasadam, obviously you're going to be happy when you go out on Sankirtan. Goal, spread the knowledge of happiness. Anandamaya Vyasat. If people see you're happy, they'll say, look, they must be doing something that makes them happy. I'm going to ask them what they're doing. What are you doing? Chanting Hare Krishna, taking prasadam, dancing, singing. Kicked off on Thanksgiving and continues till December 25th. That means we're going to do a book marathon this year. And with Harinam and prasadam. We are looking for 100 people to take a box or two each. Well, what's missing here is he's talking about Gita Jayanti. And we want our devotees, we have at least 100 initiated devotees and many more devotees, to take 1 or 2 boxes of Bhagavad Gita. In other words, it's called Become a Giver. And I'm taking 10 boxes. I already pledged that, right? So the more the merrier. And you can distribute them, you can give them out free, or you can just donate them to the Sankirtan, Seattle Sankirtan, to be distributed during the year. We are giving books for cost price during marathon. Nearly the cost price plus shipping. Next. Srila Prabhupada Vacha again. Sankirtan takes the mercy of Krishna's holy names to the spiritually dull mass of people, and indeed to all living entities who would otherwise have no exposure to Krishna consciousness. So you can see this is the greatest mercy, Sankirtan, because we're approaching people who have no punya, no adhikar, no spiritual qualities, and they're dull. They're spiritually dull, and they would have no exposure. They had no other way of being exposed to Krishna consciousness. So this is an extremely merciful thing to do. Next. Suggested techniques. So here, Radhika Gopinath is giving an example of how to approach a person, stop a person. The whole thing on Sankirtan is stopping the person, catching their attention. So you ask a question, hi, my name is so-and-so. Are you, and you put out your hand to shake hands, are you from Seattle area or out of town? Right? Handshake and eye contact. Introduce yourself. Give your regular name, not your initiated name. Well, that's optional, you know. And exchange pleasantries. That means say something that might make them smile, you know. Ask, can I teach you a mantra? Man means the mind, cha means relief of the mind from anxiety and stress. The mantra will relieve you from distress. Have them chant the mantra using the mantra card. Now this is his technique. It might not be your technique, how to stop someone, right? Sometimes people, you know, feel as if you're being too imposing by forcing them to say the mantra. But this is Radhika Gopinath's approach. After chanting, show them chant and be happy, and tell them the science of meditation is in this book. Give them the book. There's some misspelling here. Give them, not given them. Give them the book and ask for a donation to cover printing costs. Okay, so that's his method. You might have a different method. Whatever works, you know, to stop people and get them to pay attention for about 30 seconds. Next. Distribution to friends. I haven't seen you in a long time, not town. There's misspelling there. I haven't seen you in a long time. How are you? Answer. I was busy with temple, chanting, etc. Have them chant the mantra using the mantra card. Show the book. I want you to take a look at this book. It teaches how to be calm through mantra meditation. Okay, so there's another technique with people you might meet in the temple. But you can use your own technique, or you can use the technique that Vaisheshika uses, where you open up the Bhagavad Gita and show them pictures of the changing bodies, or what happens to people who engage in the four sinful activities, etc., and it catches their attention. And you can ask some of the more experienced Sankirtan devotees what their technique is to stop people, because that's the whole challenge there, to get the person to stop and talk to you. So Puja Mataji has her technique, Radhika Gopinath has his technique, Vaisheshika also teaches his technique, and every Sankirtan devotee eventually figures out their technique for stopping people so that they'll listen. Street distribution. Are you from Seattle area or out of town? Handshake and eye contact, introduce yourself and exchange play. Okay, you already said this, so next. This is a repeat slide. Okay, what does karma mean to you? Here's a book that teaches you how to get free from karma. It starts with diet. Give them, not given them, give them the book and ask for a donation to cover. Okay, it's instead of chanting, chant be happy, it's the higher taste. You adjust your initial speech according to the book that you want to distribute. Next. That's it? Okay, next one. We went through this. Sponsor books. Shastradhana, a Bhagavad Gita. You get 16 Bhagavad Gita hardbounds for $100, and you get how many? 24 softbounds for $100. So now these are pictures of devotees in previous time. There's you see the little boy on the left-hand side. He's a big boy now. So we've been doing Harinam for about 5-6 years on a regular basis. Next. So here's Shalini, or I forget what her name is. And she's preaching on the University Way. Next. Okay, here's Divya Drishti preaching. Next. Here's more Sankirtan. Next. More Sankirtan. Next. More Sankirtan with Madhava Chandra. Next, we have what's his name? Ajamil Prabhu. Here's Radhika Gopinath, making someone happy. Here's our Sankirtan party. Here's Madhava Chandra. Next, Madhava Chandra again. More Sankirtan. Go ahead. There's a man who just got a burrito in his hand. See? That silver thing is a burrito. Here's Radhika Gopinath speaking. There's Ajamil with on chanting. He's going to hand it out to someone. More kirtan. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Realizations of Anamika Mataji, who came out of Sankirtan. I met this lady on the day of the Sankirtan, and when I approached her, I had no clue what was going on inside her mind. As with the others on the road whom I met, my first step was to offer the free prasadam, hot burritos, which I was pretty sure that most of us would accept most people would accept on a cold day. I offered the prasadam to the stranger lady, whom I would call an eye-opener lady for me, as until then I did not realize what Krishna had what Krishna had in store for me, which she most humbly accepted and thanked me. Then I told her about Krishna's free food service provided in the restaurant. Okay, so we did have a restaurant in the U district before, My Sweet Lord, and then gave her the Mahamantra lucky card. I told her to keep it in her purse and to chant it whenever she felt depressed or stressed out. To my surprise, she began crying in the middle of the street, and she began filling my bag with best of blessing. I might have she began filling my, in other words, she gave me the best of blessings that I might ever have gotten or received from a stranger. In her own words, she said, I bless you and your mission that you all are doing on the road today. No one has ever spoken to me in this way, and the word in is missing, all throughout my life. I feel so happy that I met God's people like you. She kept on blessing me. Her tears could not stop falling throughout our conversation. So these are some of the extraordinary experiences you do get on Sankirtan. Everyone will get it as if you do it on a regular basis. And then you suddenly see how important this is to reach the public. There are so many people out there that are confused, are suffering, are very forlorn and sad, and you can save their life by going out. And I've always told this story that one time we were doing Sankirtan in Paris, and we were going down the street and we passed a public telephone booth. And there was a man in the telephone booth, and he stepped outside and stopped the Sankirtan party and said, somebody wants to talk to you. And he handed the phone to me. Or he pointed to the phone, take the phone. I said, what? He said, somebody wants to talk to you. I said, how can somebody want to talk to you? He said, never mind, please take this phone. This lady wants to speak to you. So I take the phone, and the lady says, every week you come by this neighborhood at the same time, and you're chanting Hare Krishna. And I thought, uh-oh, this lady's going to call the police, have us arrested for disturbing the peace. I said, well, I'm sorry, do you want us not to come? She said, no, I'm very happy. I want to tell you something. She said, last week when you came, I had climbed up onto the roof of my apartment building, and I was going to jump off. But you came just in time, and you were all so happy and dancing and singing. You gave me new hope to live. I said, oh, I'm very happy to hear that. She said, now I want you to come up to my apartment and sing and bless my house. I said, okay. So the whole party went up, and she had the penthouse. She was actually a very wealthy lady. She had the penthouse in that building. And we went in, and we sat down, and we chanted Hare Krishna, and we danced around her apartment. And then she tried to give us something to eat. And after that, she became a friend of the movement. And because of her, we were able to meet Cardinal Danulu, the head of the Catholic Church, and arrange a meeting between him and Srila Prabhupada. Okay. This is a true story. Street distribution. Okay, again, he goes through another way of stopping people. Are you from Seattle area or out of town? Handshake and eye contact. Introduce yourself. And can I teach you a mantra? And books on yoga and meditation, books on ancient wisdom suited to modern lives that can make you happy. Have them chant the mantra using the mantra card. After chanting, show them the changing bodies, yogi and karma in the Bhagavad Gita. Turn the book and show quotes from Gandhi, Emerson, and Thoreau. We don't sell this book, but we give it out. And then it says, give them the book and ask for a donation to cover the printing costs. So this is Puja Mataji's system, right? You learn from Vaisheshika.
Yeah, Prabhu, sometimes they say that these are books written by Guru, and this is very transcendental, this is not an ordinary book, so if you want their blessings, so please donate something, whatever your heart says. So that's what we request them.
Okay. Next. Distribution of friends. Question. Can you come to this event? We are going to have so much fun. Answer. I am having lots of fun practicing yogic process from Bhagavad Gita, which gives ancient wisdom suited to modern lives. I feel really happy. This is not English. I feel really happy these. Have them chant the mantra using the mantra card. After chanting, show them the changing bodies, yogi and karma. Turn the book and show quotes from Gandhi. Okay, so he's saying, you meet a stranger, or you meet a friend. So this is the approach for the friend. All this has to be reworked a little bit. Go ahead, next. So here's different pictures. There's different ways of doing Sankirtan. You can set up a book table also. You have to have permission to do that if you do it on a public sidewalk, but we can get that permission. But if you do it inside the University Heights Center, you don't need any permission. We're allowed to do that. So you set up a book table, nice displays. You know, we have these type of displays that you know, we have them outside on the book table there. It's on Saturday. We're talking about Saturday. Next. Okay, more Sankirtan. Next. More Sankirtan. Next. More Sankirtan. Next. Oh, okay, go back to the previous one. So on the left-hand bottom side, you see we're doing a training in the Prasadam hall downstairs of how to dance in unison and different dance steps and different things like going 2 lines down the street, going 1 line down the street, having chanting in a circle, and then chanting, you know, 2 lines facing each other and going back and forth. There are many different types of dance steps and dance, let's say, strategies that you need when you're going down sidewalks. And so that's just give you an idea that we should do this training on a regular basis so that everyone can dance in unison and know the different dance steps and positions that they can assume for making the dancing more attractive. Next after this, again. Shyala Yatra ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. So, thank you very much. We'll do this tonight. Agni Dev can narrate. 7:30. Yeah, after Damodar, whenever. Haribol.